Alright, so we got this inside of it sanded down, got our weld marks knocked down with this roll lock, and then switched over to a aggressive Scotch-Brite pad. And then after that we went to a little bit with some 180 and then 400 on our weld marks, which would have been like, you still kind of see it divoted in some places there, but it's okay. And then buzzed over the whole thing where it was rusted and whatnot with 400 and then 600. Anything where I saw those spots in rust, we hit with 400 and then ran over those with 600, which I got most of the scratches out. I mean, I'm not too worried about. The bed is obviously not perfect, so I'm kind of working the side of this over. I've got some primer where it was primered before. However, I wanted to bring out some more of the blues and the greens. So what I'm doing is I'm taking a DA with 180, which is pretty aggressive, and I'm just trying to knock down this primer, just gray. So this is a black and then a gray primer. I know that I've got blue and then green underneath it, so I've got a very, very thin window to get this down, but I'm just going to take off a lot of this, like kind of where it's almost like chunking off there, and try to smooth it out. And I'll leave some gray, and then I'm just trying to bring out some of that blue. I'll buzz over this with probably 400 or 600. Just kind of feather this edge out. This is going to get cleared, and then here, fender right's here. Anyway, I'm trying to bring out some of this color between different grits of sandpaper, and hopefully it'll work out pretty good. That's kind of where I'm at now. Today we're going to come back and I'm going to back tape each edge. So then I'll come back tape our edges here. I'll back tape this edge like here. That way, when I put my seam sealer in there, I'll have a really nice tight clean line where my seam sealer comes up to it. Then I could take a little bit of lacquer thinner and kind of smooth my seam sealer out. Then when I peel this off, it'll leave a really super nice, straight, clean line. At least that's my hope. We're gonna use some Sims gray seam sealer. This is just an air dry, kind of a professional use, direct to metal gray seam sealer. Part number 29372. We just figured the gray was about as close as I could get to the same color as the sheet metal. That was kind of the idea on that. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish taping this, wipe some seam sealer over it, and build this. But since the seam sealer's been sitting there for a while, I'm gonna take a red Scotch-Brite pad and just kind of run back over it and basically try to knock the shine down. This seam sealer will leave a little bit of a gloss finish, and I want to kind of knock that down just to make sure I got enough scratches that'll hopefully that it will bite into the seam sealer when I clear it. And then scuff that out. Kind of just scuff this whole thing down one last time in case there's anything floating around, moisture, overspray, anything like that going on it. Try to make it really nice, clean. I'm going to run this over to the paint booth, get it set up. I sprayed a little bit of epoxy on here. I did some pretty big dent right here. I just roughed it out. I didn't really get too carried away. Just got rid of the old filler and kind of knocked the dent out and sprayed a light coat of epoxy on that. Let's give that about an hour. We'll wet sand that down a little bit and kind of give it more of like this look. It's kind of what I'm going for. I kind of like that. It looks pretty cool on the sun. That with the metals kind of popping through the clear. We had actually, or through the sealer, we had actually wet sanded that down, and so hopefully that'll be pretty cool. I think my phone's ringing, so I'm gonna go ahead and answer that. Get this over to the booth. Get that cleaned up over to the booth and get ready to paint. That's the second coat of clear. I think letting it sit for a little while and having the temperature up a little bit really did make a difference. Got basically 3 coats on the floor and then 2 good coats all the way around. That's kind of where we're at on that. This is the fender I ran out halfway through. Had to go mix up a little more clear. So I was a little worried about it running, but looks pretty good so far. Alright, so we're going to run that through a bake cycle and just see if we can help kick that off, and hopefully we can get it out of here by the end of the afternoon. Top's coming tomorrow on a Sunday, and it'll clear up the booth for the guys in the production shop. So, we're gonna hit that on a bake cycle. Should be done in about 30 minutes or so. And then hopefully we can get that thing out of the booth, back over on my side, and then I'll have to come in tomorrow. At least that's the plan. Leave the booth open for the guys to the production shop to get their stuff done. Anyway, that's pretty much it on this video. I think I'm gonna leave it here. And if you like these videos, this type of content, time lapses, blah blah blah, give me a like, a subscribe, and remember, you got to create something today, even if it sucks. Peace.